Hello and welcome to another Arkeys video and to a new 2 million credit time trial challenge on Gran Turismo 7. We are at Fuji Speedway and we are in the newly added Toyota GT7 and we are on the racing medium tires. For those of us who played earlier editions of Gran Turismo, we all remember this car very well and it's nice to see it back. I jumped in this morning to do my first impressions run on this. I did an hour to see how far I could get, and then I did a bit more and I actually ended up with a decent time for my standards. And if you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's jump into my first wobbly attempt on this one. It is update day and the game is ready to go. I jumped in, bought the car from the Legends dealership, and now we're jumping into sport mode section. I'm picking up my price for the previous time trial and now we are jumping onto this one for the first time. And I didn't start right away this morning, so there are plenty of fast ghosts to follow. And the first thing I'm learning the hard way is that you need to brake earlier than that for turn 1 and brake earlier than that for turn 2. This is not a new car, it doesn't have the same amount of downforce and braking power, and here I just slide off the track, so we need to bail this one. This is my first slow but complete lap. We're looking at some brake references. The first one is the 150 board there just before the grandstand. That's my marker for turn 1. Here I exit in first gear, you want to exit in second gear, just ignore all the mistakes. Now we are looking for the 100 board. It's usually a bit later than that in high downforce cars, but you cannot brake as late in this car. So look for the 100 board, that's a good one to look for. And here you want to look for that tarmac strip for lifting off, and you can see I am way offline because you want to coast in and bring the car towards that second tarmac strip. Here you are looking for that little square between the 100 and the 50 board. That's a good brake marker, brake just before that, and I completely missed the corner there. The Dunlop gantry is always a good marker for the chicane here, and all the way down to first gear, up shifting to second gear, and this is an awful line, so just ignore that. Here I am looking for the start of that green part of the curb there, just where the grass ends. And you want to not do as I did there, get the car slowed down properly so you can coast through that corner. The end of the curb, that's where you need to slow down for this left-hander, bring the car towards the inside, and here I look for that tarmac strip on the right. When that sort of disappears from the screen, I start to try to slow down the car for the final corner. This entire final sector is such a pain to learn. My first lap was 1:35.861 and I am running deep again. We need to improve fast, but we will get up to speed soon. Unfortunately, I hit the bullet there, so that was an invalidated lap. The lap after the invalidated lap, we are running deep into turn 1 once again, but we are still up on our time. I'm starting to find the right lines, getting through there. Now I am lifting off as I approach that first tarmac strip, trying to bring the car in towards the second tarmac strip, get back on the power. I think I'm actually getting the car slowed down, but the car almost snaps on me. Really need to be careful opening up the steering while getting on the power. If you turn too much, the car will snap. We are getting through the chicane, now up to second gear. Can I do this corner this time? I think I'm not getting the car slowed down properly because you want to be able to just coast through that right-hander. We are sort of surviving the final sector, at least we are well up on our time, going around the final corner, maybe a bit tight entry there, but still we are up 2 seconds on our time at 1:33.852. But here, unfortunately, I throw away an improvement by running deep into the chicane, and now I just bin it on the curb in turn 1. We've done 8 minutes or so, and we just need to find some more speed here. Some weird steering input coming into turn 1, but at least we get the car slowed down properly for the first time. Not the best run out of there. Coasting through turn 2, and we've got some small errors coming up. Let's see, I am running slightly wide there, so I need to bring the car back towards the right hand side so I can use the weight shift to swing back over to the left hand side. We are still keeping it going. How do we do through the chicane? I could cut a tiny bit more there, and we've got a bit of a drift moment here, so lost some time there. Can be a bit snappy on the throttle and also there, but we are doing okay so far. Let's bring the car in towards the apex there, also a slidey moment. And now for the final corner, just trying to be as patient as I can, but still sliding through that corner as well. So not a very big improvement on that one. Too many small errors, and I hit the bollard at turn 1. So we've still done under 15 minutes. We've got a lot of time to go of the first hour. This is a longer session, and here are some highlights. We are bringing the car around turn 1, exiting in second gear. A bit slidey on the exit, just trying to coast through here, and lifting off as we see the first tarmac strip, but I actually ended up lifting off a bit too early, so I went on the grass and then I went wide, so I had to fight the car a bit there, and I am slightly missing the left hand corner there. Coming into the chicane, we are getting the car slowed down, still could cut a bit more, but at least we keep the car stable through there. Now can I make the car just coast around this corner? Sort of okay. If you get the line slightly better than me, you can get a bit earlier on the power. That looks a bit tight, so not the best exit out of there. If you're coming in too tight, you will run wide, and the same goes here. Just want to see if you can get as straight line as possible. Only improving a tiny bit at the time. We are working on it. We are making our way around turn 1. We are up on our time. Here I think I was leaning slightly on the brakes a bit too much, so I got a bit of understeer through that corner. We are getting a better line through the long right-hander, and can we get the car stopped here? I need to brake a bit before that little square marker between the 100 and the 50 board. And I am losing some time in the final sector. That is definitely cutting too much. That is just unsettling the car, and a bit of a slidey moment there. Completely missing this one. Sort of bringing the car back in, but we're down to 133.335, and I am accidentally cutting the corner there. Almost for old time's sake, I missed turn 1 again. I managed to get the car stopped, but certainly losing some time. And later on, we actually make up for a poor start of the lap by doing a better final sector. So can we get the car to just coast around that corner using the rotation of first gear to just let the car roll through? And the same goes here, just staying in first gear until the apex, then up to second gear. And also for the final corner, I am actually missing the apex here, so that was not the best, but all in all, a slight improvement once again, and a bit more. And on this lap, I started to iron out all the small mistakes on the previous laps. We are making our way around turn 1, no sliding on the exit, also just coasting through there, getting as close to the bollard as we dare. Bring the car in towards the second tarmac strip by just coasting through the corner. Braking a bit earlier this time, so I can use first gear, coast around the corner, back up to second, be careful on the exit, open up the steering before you go fully on the power, and through the chicane, let's see, up to second gear before that second apex, a bit slidey there. Get the car slowed down, just coast around in first gear, back up to second gear, and just really be careful. This entire last sector is one big odd camber that doesn't work in the car's favor at all, so you really need to be patient, all about trying to find late apexes around these final corners. But we are up on our time and we are down to a 1:32.567. We are parking the car to have a look. We've done 28 minutes and then I didn't improve for another 45 minutes. I was kind of stuck, but suddenly we found some progress again. This is the final lap of the video. We are coming into turn 1 looking for the 150 board and hard on the brakes all the way down to first gear, back up to second. I was a bit impatient on the rotation, so I was fighting the car a bit on the exit. That lost me a bit of time looking for the 100 board, down to third gear, just let the car coast through. Here I almost crashed. You can see I'm fighting to bring the car back in towards the second tarmac strip, but it almost worked out in my favor. Now let's just get the car slowed down using first gear for rotation, back up to second. Careful on the power out of there, use as much of the track as you dare. Now we're coming up towards the Dunlop gantry, hard on the brakes all the way down to first gear, staying in first gear up to second just before that second apex, trying to straight line this. And at the start of the green part of the curve, down to first gear for a brief moment there. And here I am just trying to be patient. It's so easy to unsettle the car because of all the weird camber in this last sector on Fuji. We are coming around the final corner, slightly missing the apex there. Looking back at this, I can see a lot of small mistakes, and I know there's more time in this for me as well, but we are going to go across the line in a 1:32.228, and that is going to be my final run of this video. I think I can work my way into a high 1:31 if I give this some more time. It's a fun time trial. It seems to suit me, even though I often say that I'm better in the road cars than in the race cars. So in my own opinion, I got in a good first impressions run on this time trial. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining and maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.